Good day, folks. Today I'm going to be reviewing and showing you how to play the game Perspective, the timeline game. This game came out in 1993 and it is for 2 to 8 players. Now in Perspective, you're going to be given some cards that are going to have different events, different people in it, and what you're going to be trying to do is you're going to be trying to place them in one of 4 different timelines and trying to get rid of your cards. There will be opportunities where you'll be able to challenge other players' placement of these cards, and the object is you're going to try to get rid of all your cards. So let's check it out. So the object of Perspective is you're going to try to get rid of all of your cards, and each player is going to be receiving 6 cards. Now what you have here is you have 4 different columns, each of which are going to represent a different period in history. You have the Ancient, which is where time begins, all the way to 476 AD, the Middle Ages, which is 477 to 1588, and then the Modern and the 20th century. Then each of them have a different color on them, and the cards are also going to have different colored borders representing where in these timelines that they are going to go. In the game, you've got your basic deck, which are going to have some easier dates that you're going to be probably able to guess, and then you also have a advanced deck, which is going to have some subjects that might not be so familiar, like for example this one, or for example this one. These are going to be more difficult to try to guess. So what you're going to do first is you're going to go ahead and roll this die, and you're going to go ahead and just simply do what it says. Draw 1 card from the deck. This one will just tell you to play. This one says give 1 card to any player. And then this one says lose your turn. So you go ahead and roll, and let's say I'm blowing. It says give 1 card to any player. So I'm going to go ahead and give him this one. This one says Genghis Khan conquers Persia. Now what you're going to be trying to do in this game is you're going to be playing these cards on the timeline where you think that they are going to go. So I'm going to go ahead and give this to player 2, and then I'm going to go ahead and just pick this one here. Let's say Empire State Building is completed. So I'm going to go ahead and guess that it is somewhere over here. So let's go to the next player. The next player is going to roll. It says simply to play. Let's just say I decide I'm going to go ahead and play this one that says Mahatma Gandhi assassinated. And this is a green card. So let's just say I decide I'm going to go ahead and play the green card right over here. Now let's just say one of the players believes that that is not correct, and he says I'm going to go ahead and challenge that. I believe this card actually goes afterwards. And so what's going to happen is both of the cards are going to go ahead and get revealed like so. This says 1931, and this one says 1948. So in this case, the challenger was correct. So what's going to happen, these are going to get flipped back over, and the card that was played in error, which is this one, is going to get played here into the dead card space. So let's just say it was player 3 that had made the challenge. He's going to go ahead and give 1 of his cards to player 2. If it turned out that he was wrong, the player that got challenged would in turn give 1 of his cards to the player that challenged him. So now let's go to player 3. Player 3 says give 1 card to any player. So he'll go ahead and give player 1 a card, and let's just say he decides he's going to go ahead and play this book one here. It says Uncle Tom's Cabin is published. Let's just say he thinks, okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and say it's right around here somewhere. Now what's going to happen is this board is going to start getting filled up with different dates. You had a situation like this, and you wanted to try to play a card in between here. Well, what you would do then is you would just move the card down and then do like so. But ultimately what you're going to be doing is you're just going to be trying to get rid of your cards. And there's also another way you can do it, which is challenging the board. Now the thing is like when someone plays a card, if nobody challenges it, the card is going to stay where it is. So let's just say at some point in the game, someone looks at the board and says, you know what, this doesn't look right to me. I'm going to go ahead and challenge this and say this goes afterwards, and they're going to go ahead and flip these over again, and let's just say yep, Sputnik it was in 1957, so this card will go ahead and get discarded. Now no player in this case is going to lose any cards since he challenged the board, but what the player that did do the challenge will be able to do is he will be able to go ahead and toss 1 of his cards into the dead pile. You're going to just keep playing until 1 player runs out of cards, and that player will be deemed the winner. Here we have a couple of copies of a game called Timeline over here, and this is a really good game, and it plays similar to this, only it's 1 line and it's more streamlined, and you'll reveal the dates right after you play it. Now with this game, when I first saw it, I thought it was kind of like the same thing, but this game plays a lot differently. For one, whenever you play a card, you're not going to reveal the date, so you could have a lot of cards that are going to come out on the board with no revealed dates, and you're not really quite sure what it is. But the only way you're going to know is if you end up challenging somebody, and if you're right, you'll give up a card. If you're wrong, you'll gain a card. So that's a pretty cool little risk element in the game. It's kind of weird because like when you're looking at some of these cards, you're going to know kind of where it is if it's in the basic deck. If it's more advanced, it's going to be harder. It's going to be for people who know more about history. This is a very good little game. If you're interested in learning about historical events, or at least the dates, this is a game that can teach that for sure. Very easy to learn. The instructions are like 1 page. It also has a kid's version on there too that you can use. This game comes with about 100 different cards, so I definitely see replayability in here, but you can get better at the game as you're playing it if you play it a lot, because you're probably going to start memorizing the dates. But simple little game, kids can play it, adults can play it. It's fun. I enjoy it. All right, guys, that's my review of Perspective, the timeline game. We'll see you later. Keep on gaming.